So I was gonna do a One Piece fan letter review, and so here I fucking am. Might as well just deep dive into this entire thing. The purpose of this video is to shine a light on the episode that maybe the average viewer doesn't really understand. You know, some people watch One Piece at face value, which is there's nothing wrong with that, right? Which is one of the reasons why I love One Piece so much is because it allows you to both enjoy the series at a face value and enjoy the series in a more complex way. And so I just wanted to shine light on the side with more complexity so that maybe, you know, the average viewer can enjoy these things in a new perspective, right? So in this video there's gonna be two parts of this video. There's gonna be the storytelling side, and then there's gonna be the visual side of the episode. And the story side is gonna be pretty short. But I do want to point out two giant things in terms of storytelling. I think the people that watched it at face value should understand this as well. Well, not understand, but they definitely felt it in their hearts. If they couldn't put it into words, they could definitely feel it, right? And so I want to point that out. And the first thing is specifically the Luffy, Nami, and Zoro fans, right? I know Chopper, Brook, and Frankie had some fans in there. They weren't really the same case as Luffy, Nami, and Zoro fans. They were more just strictly in the story for the story as a plot driver. But the Luffy, Nami, and Zoro fans are plucked out of reality and inserted into the episode. And what I mean by this is specifically talking about Luffy and Nami because their fans were inspired by them. And we have a lot of people in the real world who reads One Piece and are also inspired by those two characters. Well, not just those two characters, but the characters in general in One Piece. And, you know, it doesn't really matter in which way you were inspired by them. But the fact is that we got some representation in the episode. And that was a very cool thing to see. Might it be Luffy chasing his dreams, and all of a sudden you're chasing your dreams, or being Zoro, you know, being stoic, and Nami being smart and all that type of shit. And then specifically for the Zoro fans, that is basically Twitter power scales in real time. That's what you're watching. They're having talks about who's the strongest swordman, and then some guy brings up Akainu out of fucking nowhere, out of left field. That's so real. You guys probably don't like indulge yourself in the Twitter sphere of One Piece, but it's true. It's there. And that is probably the largest aspect in the story, or it's what the entire thing entails. It's a self-insert for us fans, right? So that's number one. Number two is, I think this is more subtle. You'll understand when we get to the visual part, but it's a perspective of us seeing the Straw Hats in a way that we've never seen before. This entire time we've followed them throughout their journey from the very fucking beginning. You know, we never really thought much about it, right? It's just our goofy gang. We just going about our small adventures, you know, doing this, doing that. We never really took a step back just to see how crazy the shit that they did really is. And they made this very blatantly obvious, both with the storytelling and the visual storytelling. I mean, the very first scene of the episode was we're in Marineford and we're getting like these crazy fucking moves, and like, you know, we see from the perspective of the Marines how they're just running around. They don't know what to fucking do. They're like chickens with their fucking heads off, right? You got a fucking giant block coming your way. You got three giants stopping a fucking flying ship coming towards them. What the fuck are you supposed to do as a normal person? And even outside of the fan letter, you think of what they did before Marineford. They declared war for the government for a single fucking person. They're standing on top of a tower, facing off against CP9, declaring war, shooting down the flag. That's crazy. That's insane. That's mythical. That's legendary. Yeah, I don't think we look at that enough, right? I think those are the two main points of the fan letter. And why it makes such a good spin-off story for the One Piece is because it offers a completely new perspective, and perspective is everything. You change our main character from Luffy to somebody else, it's a completely different world. It's a different story. Yeah, that was the quick story part, but probably gonna get into the visual storytelling part now. So, okay. So this entire part is unscripted. So I'm just gonna, you know, skim through some of the stuff in the episode and point out what I can see. All right. So already, first scene, right? As I was talking about, her transitions. It's very smooth. It doesn't. Majority of transitions would just go from point A to point B. But throughout this entire episode, I don't think I've seen such. I don't think I've ever seen a blatant transition. Right? He looks right, and then the camera pans right into Vista, where they start to fight. They go ahead. They're walking that direction, and then Eva's also turning that direction. And then you go from, look at this, look. You got the colors over here. You got the light shining on Eva's face, and then you have the same colors on Doflamingo's glasses. These transitions are carefully crafted so that it mixes well together. This type of transition I have not seen from any other director, probably in the animation world. Either that or I haven't been watching enough, anime movies, but this shit is crazy to me. You're getting POV perspectives, Smoker, and then Gego Moria wiping away the smoke to reveal himself. Oh my god, look at this shot. Look at this shot, bro. Look at it. I can't tell you the purpose of this shot. Yeah, I can't think of a reason why she would use this shot other than, instinctually, it looks pretty. There's a good divide. The clear blue sky versus the war that's going on down there. In terms of storytelling elements, I don't think there's any storytelling elements in this shot. It's just to make a pretty picture. The next thing I want to talk about is the character acting. Particularly in the character acting, I'm not sure if Megumi Ishitani intends this, but she definitely, I don't know, in every single episode I've seen so far, her choice of character acting is top notch. And this is there's always one person working with Megumi Ishitani that she's always a duo with, and it's an animation director, but I forgot his name. So someone please let me know down in the comments below who that is, because those two as a duo, pretty much on top. I can't see them working with different people whatsoever. They were meant to be together. Okay, so for this particular shot, it's almost a spotlight going onto her. Story-wise, I can't really explain it, but visually, it's blatant. It's blatant filmmaking, right? I don't know a better word to use. Maybe meta filmmaking, where it's like it screams at you, I am a film. It's not subtle whatsoever, right? You're not actually inside the world. You're viewing it from a lens of a movie instead of being like inside of it. But I heard this shot was inspired by another animation movie. I don't remember the name of it, but I saw a picture of it on Twitter. It looked pretty similar. And so that's cool. Other than that, it's a cool visual, right? The spotlight's on her. I also have to give props to this little girl's voice actor. She did a tremendous job with this. And Luffy's voice actor, because I've been watching her so much on Luffy, I started seeing her on Dandadan. I see her on this old lady. I give props to her. I'm seeing a side of her that I've never seen before, and I like it. She has talent. The blocking is very good here. Everything is set up correctly. Very symmetrical. Just looks good. That's all it is. Dark shadows, just to put in our subconscious, like it's a darker feeling, right? He steps out of the shadow. He's bright and all that. He's still in the shadow. He's feeling down, negative emotions. It's not something you have to understand, but it's a subconscious feeling that it gives you, right? You don't have to understand the purpose of this lighting, but it just gives you that feeling that you can't really think about, but you feel it in your heart. Which is why lighting is so important in good movies. Oh, which is why good lighting is so important in movies, because it's subconsciously making them understand the movie more, even whether or not they understand it or not. And then here I am talking about perspective again. Dracula Mihawk, look at him. He's on a mountain. He's up there. He's on the fucking peak, along with Doflamingo. But you're getting a shot down perspective from him. He's on top of the world right now. He's a monster. You don't even know what the fuck you're looking at. And his eyes glowing. That's badass. That's all it is. And the lighting here too, in this entire bar. See how the shadow lies on Zoro? It's almost giving a mysterious effect, right? Like we don't, and this applies to every single Straw Hat. We don't really clearly get to see their character. You know, they're always like hidden in some type of way. We never really get the full scope of their character. They're like a ghost. They're like a ghost in the story, right? But their presence is felt. They're important. I like how this entire thing was shot too. Almost like a Japanese TV show. Somebody told me she was in a cover story, and that's how she became their assistant. But this was funny. This part was funny. Megumi Jitani has her comedy quips down. She got the timing correct. She just has everything down correct. All right, everything down correct. Every time we get an episode of her, there's always comedy, there's always drama, there's high stakes, there's calmness, there's tenseness, there's everything in her episodes. She just has such a good innate understanding about it. I know she takes like months of her time to craft, like carefully craft these things, but this type of stuff, it can definitely be learned, but to use it takes a certain innate instinct that not everybody has, which is why she's a star. She has that X factor. She has it in her to use every tool that she has correctly. Well, not correctly, but in her way. I'm pretty sure there's a reason why she used slow motion here. I guess it's to point out that she has to be somewhere fast and there's a very slow, giant obstacle blocking her way. Just to get that subconscious feeling in of like, damn, I'm trying to do something. These people are in my way. Not that that's not understood already. It's just to add a subconscious feeling. Like, that's all good cinematography is about, right? Adding the subconscious feeling, right? You don't have to understand why good lighting is important. You just have to feel it. And look how small she is here compared to everybody else. She takes up a fraction of the screen as compared to her obstacle. It's unsurmountable. It makes her feel small. And like I said, like ghosts, right? We never get to see their full scope. I think the only people we did get to see in their full light is Chopper, kind of. But even then, he was like, I mean, you'll see it when it comes up. But you don't even get to see Zoro here. It's small details like this that add up, right? You could totally slam it without breaking it, but he breaks it, makes it funny. The chair falls back. It's small, but it adds up. These small things add up to make a good quality episode. Yep, we finally get to see Chopper, but it's like very quick instances. Even here, he's super small, right? And he's out. He just takes up a fraction of the frame, and I'm pretty sure that's all we see of him from now on. And this scene, I pointed out this scene in my reaction, but this guy's face shadow, the shadow on his face is a lot darker toned than her shadow, right? It makes no sense, right? They should both have the same tone of shadow on their faces. But again, this is blatant cinematography. We're purposely using light here that's unnatural to tell a story. This shadow just makes him look evil as fuck. We don't get a good feeling in it. In our subconscious, we don't have a good feeling about this guy. Look at the shadow on his face. That's what I'm saying. That's what makes good cinematography. That's what makes good lighting. Again, right here, she walks into the light to grab her stuff, and his shadow looms over her, bringing her back to darkness, despair. And he walks away, the danger's away. She's still in the shadow, depressed, even though she was inside the light before. She was inside the light before when she was picking up her shit, but then she's in the shadow again. Unnatural, but used well for storytelling. Like, it don't make sense, but it's so fucking good. And then Usopp's in the light. Here's the shining light. I'm sorry if I'm talking too much about lighting, but it's so important. It's so important to good storytelling. Now that I look at this, I do understand the lighting of the bar scene. It's the warm lighting that gives a familiarity. If I'm saying that fucking word right, I don't fucking know. It's 2 a.m. in the fucking morning. I'm tired, but it's like it's giving a feeling of like people around a campfire talking about their interests and their days and their lives and type of shit. It builds a sense of familiarity. I'm not even gonna say that word, but it's very warm and very chill. Right? It's comfortable. You can feel safe in this. This entire bar scene, by the way, is the Twitter fan base. This bar scene. This bar is Twitter, and the people in it drinking and talking about shit are the Twitter users. This is frame to frame. Again, another ghost, right? His fucking all the bags that's blocking his character. He got his hands in his face. We can't see his mouth. The only thing we really get to see is his eye. Even the lighting is pointing it out, right? Everything else is in darkness. Okay. So we're back in the Marineford flashback. And we get a complete tone shift, right? Where everything was colorful, super bright before. It gave us a good feeling. We're getting darker tones now, more grayer tones. It feels hopeless and depressing. Like I said, it's subconscious. You don't have to understand this, but as long as you feel it, that's what matters the most. Very dark, shiny red. Well, not dark, shiny red. It's very bright, shiny red. Usually it would be, dark. It wouldn't be shining, but I'm guessing this is just Megumi Ishitani's style. Because it looks pretty, it's colorful. Yep. Not even center frame. It's not center frame. It's on the side of the frame. Takes up a fraction of the frame. They're small. They're small and insignificant. We don't even get to see their face. Another good lighting here. His face is in the shadow. It's dark time. He's turned to the dark side. And then you have Luffy's. And again, we don't even get to see his face. We don't get to see his eyes, bro. I don't think we get to see his eyes a single time in this episode, except the very end where they set sail. Like, you can see the blatant difference in between the two. His face is in the shadows. Luffy's in the light. A good transition too, because the light is over here and the dark is over here. Turns around, goes into the light. Just like that. I don't know how many times I'm going to talk about lighting right now, but it's such an integral part into Megumi Ishitani's directing. It's a giant portion of who she is. I mean, if you've seen the storyboard of Megumi Ishitani, then you know how important lighting is. And the music choice. I have to talk about the music choice too. Every episode she's been on, the music that she used has been, well, frankly, phenomenal. She has excellent taste in music and in how it should be used in films or her projects. Another great transition. They're all walking right, all going right. Another shot here. Things are looking hopeless. Flame of hope. Everything's lit up. Another thing I want to point out is the puzzle piece. There was a big, I guess this goes in part of the storytelling aspect too. The puzzle pieces. I don't know. It seems like divine fate. At least that's what I'm getting from it, right? Because without these fans, without them, I don't Luffy would have been done for, right? The shit would have melted. The weapon would have destroyed them, and then would have went to Fishman Island. The Sunny would be done. But the music, bro. This was from Sanji versus Luffy, the aftermath. How can you mistake Nami for that? I'm sorry, this is a video by cinematography, not. But deadass, how do you mistake Nami for that? Genuinely, You see her poster. That ain't no damn Nami. She ain't bad. She fat as fuck, and tall as fuck, and disproportionately larger in her torso than her legs. I'm sorry. And here again, like I said, we never see Luffy's eyes. Not a single fucking time. This is stuff of legends. Only time we get to see their eyes and the full scope of their characters is in the main series. We're not in the main series right now. We're getting a new perspective from fans. These guys are legends. They're mythical figures. We won't actually get to really know who they are. Just the crazy shit that they do. Which is why I guess people often look up to their idols a lot, because we don't really get to know who they are. We just see the accolades that they achieve, right? We see this crazy shit, this otherworldly shit, and we never really think about who they are. But when we do get to know who they are, we just realize, when we truly understand who they are, we hop back into the main series perspective. They're just another goofy band of pirates who are trying to become Pirate King, going on their adventures and stuff. But from this perspective, they're not that. They're insane. Oh my god, wait, you hear the sound design here? Puzzle piece. That was a puzzle piece sound effect. This was meant to happen. This was divine fate, which is a great talking point in One Piece actually is the talk about fate, right? Is fate a thing? Does it play a big role in the story of One Piece. I think it definitely does. Another thing I want to talk about is how competent these Marine soldiers are, right? This guy, damn near, how many people did he take out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He took out 5 people just like that. 5 people just like that. I want you to imagine yourself standing in front of them. Depending on who you are, majority of people, one of those dudes could end your life. This guy took out 5 of them. Then you put him in the Marineford War. Then he's like a fucking ant amongst giants. He ain't nothing. And that it puts you on a scale like how large these figures in the main series are. Music choice. Here comes Soul King Brook. I recently reacted to his song. You should probably check it out if you haven't. But this song is so good. I love this song. And they start using this song when things get hopeful. It's a bright song. This is the last time I'll be talking about lighting. I swear to God. I know I've talked about it so much, but this is the last time. This should be blatantly obvious to anyone. Darkness into light. She's finally reaching her goal. You know, everything's looking good. Then a looming shadow comes over. This piece of shit comes out again. Dickhead. Asshole. Piece of shit. Fucking suck my dick. I'll fuck you in the ass. No homo. Relax. Calm down. Why the fuck did I say that? Drag him back to the shadow. Drag him back into the darkness like a fucking monster. Like the fucking Babadook. Or whatever monster drags you back into the darkness. The puzzle pieces again. Every time something happens of significant value, you hear those puzzle pieces. One puzzle piece down. And then a bunch of puzzle pieces come in. Fate. Just like that. They're glowing heavenly light for a reason, bro. It's glowing that Jesus light for a reason. It's fate. It's divine. More puzzle pieces falling into places, right? The Frankie book. I'm pretty sure this is Frankie book, right? It is the Frankie book. I didn't cast it the first time, but I knew for a reason. I knew this was going to be the Frankie book. Gets in front of his face. Stops him. Fate. The music, man. I need the official version to come out. I need the official version to come out right the fuck now. This entire part was just amazing. Jesus Christ. Putting puzzle pieces together. None of this stuff could have happened without the fans. Even the rear admiral put a puzzle piece in there. That's where his puzzle piece comes in, even though he's struggling. He's struggling to put the puzzle piece in there. Because he's part of the Marines. He doesn't know if he should do it or not. And then she completes the puzzle piece. And that's the end of the story. This is where the story ends. And we go into a perspective. Just to get it in how she really feels. Fucking stupid. And the music, man, it goes so well with everything. This fucking guy, man, look at him. Man's dumbstruck. He's standing there dumbstruck. He don't give a fuck that she's a felon. Chopper was there. He got to saw Chopper. Another lighting thing. Sorry, I know I was gonna stop talking about it, but you know, we're here. So there's a reason why Megumi Ishitani has entered my very small list of directors that I take inspiration from. Right? Her direction is not, it takes the very basics of good filmmaking and here's the thing, right? You can go in a very complex direction with filmmaking, but the more complex it is, the more shallow it is, right? So here's what I'm thinking, right? The more simple something is, the more compact it is. It hits harder. The simpler something is, hits harder. The more complex something is, it's more spread out, but it's more shallow, right? You can talk about all these different things, but when you compact it into one single pill to swallow, it's just a more easier and more enjoyable time, which is why I love her so much. It's not complex. It's actually very, very simple. It's the basics of good filmmaking, and that's why she's so good. And there's also a very deep instinct that she has for good filmmaking. But yeah, that was it for the review. I will catch you guys next time. Goodbye.